Hello, it's Chastity White Rose here again, and today I slept in till about 5. I got off of work yesterday, and I'm off on Fridays, so I knew I could sleep in. And so I've been doing a lot of research on a lot of things. Now, those of you who have followed my channel or wherever you find my videos know that I have done so much research on the effects of men who have been castrated and how that affects them. And I know so much about transgender issues. I know about eunuchs. I know a lot about men and testicles and penises and all that. I mean, of course, I have those parts, which I'm not happy about. So obviously I know something about these body parts. Now, another thing that I have done extensively throughout the years is I've researched hormones, the effects of different hormones. My previous video where I was showing my hormone results, I find hormones fascinating. And I have also done extensive research on plants and the hormonal effects that they cause, various herbs and things. Now, any vegan knows, if you've been vegan for very long, there's the whole thing about, soy products supposedly turning men into women, causing men to grow man boobs and that kind of thing. Now, what's interesting is there are conflicting sources on that, and to this point, after all the things I have read, and even my own personal experience, I have to conclude that this soy thing, the soy estrogen connection, is probably a myth, because there was a doctor talking about it that was a guest on Bite Size Vegan, in fact, explaining that the amount of soy that you would have to consume in order to have an estrogenic effect in your body was just unreal. Nobody could consume that much soy. And even I drink soy milk sometimes and I eat tofu, but there's no way that alone would have much of an estrogenic effect. However, there are many other herbs known to have various effects on hormones. Now, I say known because the FDA and mainstream government agencies and the medical industry, pharmaceutical people, they're going to deny that herbs do anything. Because if you try to look up any herb, of any type, no matter what it's for, there's so many different plants. If you go to a health market, a Hy-Vee, or if you go to any health food store, look at all the different herbs, all the plants. They will list on the bottle what it helps with. But then every single bottle of any herb has the statement. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. So they put that on every single label of every herb anywhere. This example is saw Palmetto, because this is what I'm going to be talking about in this video. But even vitamin C, I'm not kidding. Even vitamin C pills will have that, and it's like, come on. Everyone knows that vitamin C boosts your immune system. If you load up on vitamin C, it helps you get well from a cold or flu or whatever, when you have a lot of vitamin C. So first of all, the government will deny that even vitamin C helps you recover from an illness. They're going to deny that. But the public all knows better, okay? I mean, even though most people are ignorant and they accept whatever, the government tells them, whatever mainstream, whatever their doctor tells them, whatever the FDA and the AMA and the CDC or whatever, all these weird letters. So most people believe these things without question, but people know that vitamin C helps with things. People know that you can get vitamin C from many plants besides taking pill forms of it. You can get it from oranges and tomatoes, and all kinds of fruits contain vitamin C. Now, personally, what helps me get well when I'm sick is drinking tomato juice, which has a lot of vitamin C. But there's something else in tomatoes that I really like. So I can drink a lot of tomato juice. That helps me get well. So we all know from our own experience, because every time someone gets sick, they load up on vitamin C and they get well quick. And so we know this. Plants are effective. plants are effective, the vitamins and minerals and various herbs are effective in what they do various things. Now, your results may vary because everyone's body is different. But the reason I'm spending so much time just explaining this is you got to understand that when you look for information about herbs, as I have, I've learned very quickly that they will say, oh, well, studies have not proven that this does this, but, there's anecdotal evidence. And so there's so many herbs I could talk about because, I've read about soy, I've read about hops, I've read about fenugreek, I've read about fennel, I've read about Puera mirifica. How do you even say that word? Now, but the herb that's been most interesting to me recently is saw palmetto. And I have seen so many different websites online and videos on YouTube of various people, both male and female, using saw palmetto for various things. Now, I want to talk a little bit about saw palmetto just for a few minutes here, and it in spite of what the FDA says, it is most commonly used to help men who have prostate problems, because men who have a large prostate have a difficult time urinating and all sorts of things like that. So saw palmetto is used by men all over. If you look at many prostate supplements, that's going to be their number one ingredient is saw palmetto. So saw palmetto is famous. This is not something that you haven't heard of before. You'll find it in tons of ingredients. If you're having prostate trouble, you go looking for natural supplements about your prostate, they're going to have saw palmetto. That's what I've seen. But saw palmetto is one of the most interesting things because now supposedly the way it's reported to work is that saw palmetto blocks the conversion of testosterone into DHT, dihydrotestosterone. Now DHT, if you may have heard of that is the hormone that causes baldness. Not in all men, but in some men with a certain genes will go bald with exposure to DHT. And some women actually have the so-called male pattern baldness as well. So male pattern baldness is caused by a hormone called DHT. Every source that I've read agrees on that. I've never seen anyone say any different than that. So saw palmetto, it blocks the conversion of some testosterone into DHT. Now I've been reading about it, and in the process of reading what everyone said about saw palmetto, I came across 4 very interesting links. So I'm going to switch, for the rest of this video, I'm going to switch to my display capture, and I'm going to show you, I have these various links in this text file that I prepared, and I wrote a little bit there. But I'm going to go to my web browser where I have these 4 links open. Now I want to read to you some of this stuff to you, and let me just quickly make sure that I am recording. Yes, I am definitely recording, which is good because I've already been speaking. Okay, so let's look at this first link and just look at some of these posts on this forum thread. Okay, I love this title of this post. Saw palmetto accidentally my whole manhood. You could not make a better title than this. Saw palmetto accidentally my whole manhood. Okay, I swear it went from like normal size, just walking around, to around not being aroused or anything, like 1/3 the size. I feel like a girl. 320 milligrams of saw palmetto, accidentally my whole penis. What the fuck? And then this guy is like, what? It shrank your penis? and then someone's like trying to figure out what 1/3 of 3-inch. Note to self: do not take saw palmetto. Was funny at first. Now meh. Man, are you sure it was the saw palmetto, or could it have have been something else you were taking. First of all, these guys do not speak proper English, but this is the internet, so that's kind of expected. Well, saw palmetto is an anti-androgen, well, supposedly anti-DHT, but I'm pretty sure it has some anti-test activity as well, but it still shouldn't be that noticeable or affect penis size. And I don't understand this comment here, because I mean these are all men talking to each other, and I don't understand men. I was just born a man, but I don't understand them. Okay, and then this guy is like, the funny thing is, last night my girlfriend's vagina accidentally my whole manhood. Very nice. I like. What? Okay. Okay, couldn't find anything stating it will shrink your penis, but did find that it does help lower testosterone, DHT. Did say that low levels of tests cause impotency and possibly shrinkage. But it did say that for erectile dysfunction or impotency, some natural herbs help restore the penis, and on that list, saw palmetto was one of them. I don't know. Crazy thing, though, is that saw palmetto is in every female breast enlargement products and is known to naturally enlarge breasts. So I wonder if a guy is taking large amounts of saw palmetto, does that mean he's going to get larger breasts too? What the fuck? Okay. Alcohol will do it here too. Yeah. Alcohol inflames and damages the liver, causing it to release more of the enzyme aromatase and increasing testosterone estrogen conversion. This in turn stimulates the pituitary gland to release more prolactin but less oxytocin, leading to adrenal, ovarian, and testicular disorders. Excessive prolactin, estrogen grow your breasts and belly and shrink your penis and testicles or clitoris and G-spot. This also results in low DHEA, testosterone, and DHT production, which leads to excessive amounts of the blah, 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 blah. Okay, yeah, I don't want to read every post on every link here because that would take forever, and I do want to keep this video short. But let's take a look at some of the other things. This is a different forum post on the same website, different thread, it looks like. Now this guy is very interesting. It says banned. So this person who posted this was banned off this site? Okay, I'm sure there's a story behind that. Anyway, he says, I'm interested in trying saw palmetto to block DHT to prevent or slow down hair loss. Has anyone tried it for hair loss and had good results? Does it negatively affect muscle gain? As far as libido is concerned, I don't care if my sex drive goes to zero. I'm primarily concerned with the first two questions. Thanks for any useful input. So this guy's asking a question, and he just wants to keep his hair. He doesn't want to lose his hair, and he doesn't care if his sex drive goes to zero. That's great. So let's see. Yeah, there's the Wikipedia link about saw palmetto. Okay, and then this guy says, though men taking saw palmetto may develop mild nausea, reduce libido, or erectile dysfunction, I'd rather lose my hair. Lol. So, yeah, not me. I'd rather lose my sex drive and have all my hair. Personal preference, I guess. The lack of significant data is annoying, though. But then again, now pay attention to what he says here. Who would spend big bucks to study a plant that can't be patented and is so cheap? You see this? This is exactly my thoughts. They're not going to do the studies that we would like them to do on saw palmetto because they can't patent it and make it a drug and then make people pay $200 a month for prescriptions. You see, that's the thing about herbs is the big pharma will not fund studies that they cannot profit from by making drugs. So vaccines, other drugs, and you got to understand there are various anti-androgen drugs that have a lot of side effects, are very expensive, and are prescribed by doctors. But what's very interesting, I'm not going to read everything here, but if I remember correctly, this guy here, let's say, who was it? This, wait, okay. Oh, here's what I was looking for, because this is the third link. Okay, so someone says, I am a 22-year-old male. I had been prescribed saw palmetto pills as a medication for curing a hair loss problem. I was prescribed 700 milligrams of saw palmetto daily in 2 doses. I took 30 pills in all, almost every day, with a week's break once. I am now facing problems of erectile dysfunction and constipation. It's been a week since I have stopped the medicine. Please advise me what should I do, and will the problem recede with time? I have not had any symptoms of erectile dysfunction before. And then this person replying, hello, I'm not surprised you're suffering sexual side effects, especially at that dosage. Here's my take on saw palmetto. It hasn't changed a lot over the years. Used occasionally, it can be helpful, especially for guys suffering a large prostate. Let's see. And here it says, saw palmetto is typically used to treat benign prostatic hypertrophy, acne, and hair loss. The reason it was prescribed to you is because saw palmetto reduces DHT levels. Now, the problem is you need some DHT. Without it, you have no sex drive, no libido. Now, this is very interesting. So DHT is a very, it has an effect on people's sexual desire. Now, so even at the young age of 22, he's having erectile dysfunction because he took a bunch of saw palmetto. And it's like, notice Propecia, finasteride, there are other drugs that have similar effects. But what I find interesting about this post was that this guy was prescribed saw palmetto. So he must have a natural doctor that believes in using herbs like saw palmetto to help people with problems, rather than just prescribing them a drug and making a lot of money. So my applause to that doctor there. That's good. Now, what I don't understand, though, is I took 30 pills in all, almost every day, with a week's break once. 700 milligrams of saw palmetto daily in 2 doses. Interesting. So, that's very interesting. Now, there's one final link I want to read to you that I found interesting. Now, this is not about this. While the other 3 links were about men and their effects from taking saw palmetto. Now, this is a breast enhancement site where women who take herbs to try to make their boobs bigger. This is very interesting. There are actually a lot of websites out there about people trying to take various herbs and supposedly to get bigger boobs. And this is usually something that, cis women are into, but there are trans women who get into this stuff too. So I've seen this stuff before. Now, this one is interesting. Because some of the side effects in men who are taking this are impotence and breast enlargement. In both cases, it's because the saw palmetto unbalances the hormones in the system, blocking the male hormones and therefore letting the female hormones become more in force. So, but here's the interesting part about this link. If you're a woman who seems to have higher than normal levels of testosterone in her system, I would definitely give saw palmetto a try. Studies have proven in women that the saw palmetto helps reduce the amount of facial hair and body hair on a woman. Studies have not been done on the breast enlargement issue, but there is anecdotal evidence, and saw palmetto is an ingredient in most breast enlargement pills. Now, I think I'm going to close all this for now because I want to, I want to talk just a little bit about this, because now I want to know what study they're referring to, because supposedly it's been proven that the saw palmetto does reduce facial and body hair, which I'm highly interested in. Now, so here's the thing. Now, in the case of a lot of information you find online, you may be more inclined to believe in natural herbs. You may be more like the person who believes big pharma. You might believe doctors and drugs, or you might be like me who believes more in herbs. Now, here's the thing: is I'm totally in favor of scientific studies when done right. However, the best studies that can be done are studies that people can do on themselves. If you take an herb or whatever, if you start eating a certain food, or you take a certain herb you can experiment with it and see what effects you notice. And this is what people do. They take various plants, and then they tell others, well, when I took this, I had this experience. So you're going to find more valid information by regular people. So here's what you have. You have men taking saw palmetto because they don't want to lose their hair. You have women taking saw palmetto because they want their boobs to be bigger. So you have a lot of different people taking saw palmetto for different purposes. So what makes saw palmetto unique compared to most herbs is that both men and women use it, and there's a lot of just regular people, not doctors or anybody, but just saying these things of what they experienced. And this is very interesting. Now, fenugreek, interestingly enough, is another popular herb that some bodybuilders take fenugreek because it is believed it increases their muscle growth. And yet, fenugreek is also used to promote breast milk production. Yeah. So some women take fenugreek while they're nursing their children because it makes them produce more breast milk. Whereas you have men who are taking it to increase their muscles because they're bodybuilders and they want to be strong. So which does it do? Or is it both? Does it make you produce breast milk and make your muscles stronger? That's interesting. Well, anyway, back to saw palmetto. Now, this is very interesting. So, as with anything, I like to do my own experiments. So, the saw palmetto that I showed you earlier, now, I have been taking this stuff. Now, and what I find it's very interesting because I've been taking it and trying to see if I noticed anything. And here's one thing that everyone needs to know about the male body is the male body, well, sometimes you have to consume larger amounts of things. Women are generally smaller. This is just a fact. Women on average, they weigh less. They're shorter. They're just smaller overall. So when a woman, biological woman that is, takes any herb or eats any certain food, they experience effects even at lower doses. And similarly, I've read, that women get drunk easier than men. It's easier for women to get drunk because, their bodies are smaller. So men have to take a lot more of something to experience effects. So I started out taking saw palmetto. I was just taking only 2 of these a day. I was taking like the recommended dosage because the recommended dosage is as an herbal supplement. Adults take 1 capsule with any meal twice daily, 1 in the morning and 1 in the evening, or as directed by a healthcare provider. Do not exceed recommended dosage. Individual results may vary. Yeah, so I don't know if you can see that. I showed this earlier, but so it was recommending to take 1 in the morning and 1 at night. So that's what I was doing, and I got to tell you that just 1 in the morning and 1 at night, no effect on me. No. I didn't notice anything because that is a very small amount. So if you go by recommended dosages listed on pill bottles or herbs, whatever, then you're not going to notice much. You might, but it depends on your body type and how sensitive you are to it. If your weight, how much you weigh greatly affects. How big you are greatly affects how things affect you. Now, but I was reading, the dosages of things that other people were taking, and I started taking more of it. And here's the thing is I wanted to see if it really had an effect. So I started doing more. So I was taking 2 of them twice a day. I still didn't really notice that much, but I hadn't been doing it for very long. So I upgraded to taking 4 of them twice a day. So I was taking 8 in every 24-hour period to see if it really had an effect. I wanted to see, does this have any effect whatsoever if I am taking 8 of these saw palmetto capsules a day. Now each one is 450 milligrams. And So you have to consider that, 2 times that is 900, 4 times that is 1800, and 8 times that is 3600 milligrams. So here's the thing. After I started taking 8 of those a day, four when I wake up, and then 4 when I got home from work before I go to bed, I actually started noticing things. The primary thing that I noticed was a reduction in erections. Now, this is very interesting because I have hated erections for years. Now, erections cause me great pain, especially while I'm at work. I've had a problem my whole life with erections, and usually at the worst times too. So I have erections, but they happen while I'm sleeping or while I'm shelving at work, and it causes a lot of pain. So I have been looking for something to reduce erections. So you have to understand, I read about these stories of men trying to reduce their erections. They're not trying to reduce their erections. They're trying to do it to cure hair loss or whatever. But these men, for whatever reason, they take saw palmetto, and then they're having erectile dysfunction and can't have an erection. And they're like, oh no, this is horrible, my whole manhood. And then I read this information, I start taking 4 times the recommended dose that it says in this pill bottle. And then, before I know it, I'll not have any erections, except sometimes while I'm sleeping. And this is too much information for people, so you might want to go away if you can't handle this. But so what happens is I'll have erections not very often. Like, I can go a whole day without having an erection now, as long as I keep taking this stuff. But then when I go to bed at night, I'll have an erection, but here's the thing, it's no longer hard as a rock when I do, okay? It used to be when I get an erection, it'd just be hard as a rock, but now it's like I can actually bend it. I can actually bend it just slightly. Don't want to bend it too much. That might hurt, but it's like, so I can sometimes go all day at work without having any erections, which is great because that means a lot less pain, because when you have an erection, it doesn't fit in your pants, And you men who are out there who have erections, you can know how painful erections can be when your penis grows to be 3 times its usual size and it doesn't fit in your pants anymore. So yeah, reducing erections has been something I've been wanting to do for a really long time, and I greatly hesitated about whether I was going to record this video or not. I really thought long and hard about this because I was thinking, well, this might be too much information for people. But then, when I found so much valuable information about saw palmetto on these various links and other things I've read that I haven't even shown you, then I started thinking, well, let's try this, see if it does anything. So far it seems to be working for what I'm intending it for, because I'm intending to use it to not have erections. Now here's the thing, I have an appointment on July 16. Now if I can talk to these people and I can schedule, if I can find a surgeon willing to remove my testicles, then I will be able to not have erections, because when you remove the testicles, it means that the sperm production drops to near zero, except where your other organs of your body produce. So erections go away for the most part. Some say they have no erections ever again, which is great. So that's a huge reason I want my testicles removed, aside from the horrible pain they've been causing me. So if I can have the surgery, well, then I will not need to take saw palmetto anymore, because I don't really want to have to spend that much money on saw palmetto all the time. Just trying to reduce the DHT that is apparently has something to do with erections. So I still just want to have the surgery and have my testosterone gone so I don't have erections. So that's what I really want. But because I still have a month to wait, and even if I do have this appointment, I have no guarantee if they will be willing to remove my testicles, or if they will just lie to me and refuse to help me, the same way that urologist Andrew Wright did. I wrote a whole thing on my blog about it, the testicle testimony. You know, it's really sad because people are not willing to remove men's testicles, and it's crazy. But this is something I deeply want, and I have written and spoken about it very much in the past. But because I can't do anything about it right now, all I can do is keep having appointments until somebody helps me. I decided to do this salt palmetto experiment that I've been doing for about a week at this point. And I like the results I'm seeing because it can reduce erections, which helps me a lot. So that is all the information on saw palmetto that I have currently. Now, I have not noticed anything else. Like, I have not noticed any negative side effects from taking saw palmetto. As far as I'm aware, I mean, sure, I feel tired, but that's probably from being exhausted from my very physical job. But for most men who take this, the negative experience they have with it is that it takes away their erections, and they like having erections because they want to have sex, you know. So what is bad news for them is good news for me. So that's why so far I've been taking saw palmetto, and I'm going to keep taking it for a while and seeing if I like the effects. If I notice any really bad effects from it, I may have to stop taking it. But so far, it seems to be reducing the frequency of my erections, and I like that effect. So that's what I had to tell you about saw palmetto. But I just have to say, man, this made me laugh. Like, accidentally, my whole manhood. Come on. That guy who can't speak English right is funny. So I guess I'm going to end this video now. And so if you're somebody out there who has been looking for information on saw palmetto, you know, leave a comment. Let me know if this has helped you. Let me know, have you taken saw palmetto for any reason, whether you're male or female? Have you taken saw palmetto and experienced any good things from it, or many bad things, you know? So and also, if anybody knows about the study on saw palmetto that reduces facial and body hair in women, I want to read that study. So please let me know where that study is, because if it does that for women, it will do that for a biological man at high enough doses. So I'm very interested in that. So let me know if you find anything out about that.